welcome to Sideboard MTG. My name's Eric, and we got the rest of the spoilers today, so we're gonna be going over about 100 cards. So I'm gonna be giving some of these cards a little more time than others, and some cards I may not give as much time as you may think that I should. But if I do miss an interaction, please let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's some great interaction that I've missed and you happen to see it. So please be active in the comments. I'm really just going to try to get through most of these cards. There are some really good ones, but there's also just some fodder. So we're going to start here with Stone Golem, 5 mana for a 4/4. The only good thing that I can say about this card, it doesn't meet the vanilla test. It's a golem. Why that matters, we'll talk about that later. So 5 mana for a 4/4. I mean, if it was a 5/5, it would at least be vanilla. Next here is Salvager of Ruin. Now, this card's probably not going to mean a whole lot in Standard, and it might or might not, depending on some other cards that are printed. But when I seen this card, my eyes kind of lit up because there's a deck that's beloved to my heart that this works with. Anyway, this is a 3 mana 2/1 construct. Ugh. It better have something cool. This is an artifact creature that has Sacrifice Salvager of Ruin and choose target permanent card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Return it to your hand. Okay. Alright, I know that's a lot, but any permanent that left the battlefield this turn, you can sack this and get that permanent back. The first thing that went to my mind was the old Metallic Mimic Walking Ballista combo with Tishar. If you have your Tishar on the battlefield and either this or your Walking Ballista, or this or your Metallic Mimic on constructs, you can cast Walking Ballista or pretty much any 0 converted mana cost artifact or historic spell to trigger this. So on turn 4, if it's a Walking Ballista, you cast Walking Ballista, it gets a +1/1 counter, you sacrifice the Walking Ballista, you shoot your opponent, sacrifice this, it goes to the graveyard, you get the Walking Ballista back, cast Walking Ballista again for 0, Tishar triggers, brings this back to the battlefield, Walking Ballista gets a +1/1 counter, you shoot your opponent, you sacrifice this. You see where I'm going with this? I mean, it's an infinite loop. Instant on turn 4 and on curve, giving you even mana to play with on turn 1. So yeah, I mean, there's this card. I like it. I like Salvager of Ruin, and I think there's going to be something there. Next, we've got another Golem, 4 mana for a 3/3. It's a bit of a dream. Oh, I'm going to make it work, man. How many pieces did you need to make to truly make KCI go off, right? All you had to do is just play KCI on turn 4 and then start sacking things, right? Well, play KCI on turn, or play Tishar on turn 4 and then just go ham, man. You need parts. Yeah, London Mulligan. I think the combo could work. I think I will stick to the Bolus plus Elder Spell combo. That's a pretty decent combo too. You only need 2 or 11 mana, right? What's up? Oh, Leslie was streaming. Well, Tier 1 Jank, everybody, if you want to check that out. Alright, so we're going to move on. When Pattern Matcher enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a card with the same name or another name as a creature you control. Reveal it, put it on the battlefield, and shuffle your library. That's not bad. Like, if you own a creature, you can just go get another copy, or you can just get another copy of this. With the same name as another creature. Okay, so not another copy of this. Alright, well, 4 mana for a 3/3. Somebody out there's got some cool combo with this. I know it. Like, alright, so what do you go get? What do you got to have on the battlefield that you want to go get another copy of? I guess this could be one of those pieces, like when you need multiple copies of a certain creature for a combo, so at least this will be around. It is a golem. We have another golem here. This is a 2 mana 2/1. I like it. I like it. All right, we're on vanilla here, almost kinda, but it has an ability, and that ability is pay 2, add 1 mana of any color. Ooh, just mana fixing. You lost me. You lost me. I'm back on my construct plan now. All right, Marauder's Axe, 2 mana for an equipment, and it gives equipped creature +2/+0, and it has an equip cost of 2. Pretty simple. +2/+0, and I mean maybe I don't know. I don't see us having the parts for the equipment deck yet, but if they're printing some, then maybe we'll get some parts for it. Meteor Golem gets a reprint. What? Okay. This is a 7 mana golem. 7 mana for a 3/3. It does something pretty good though. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent opponent controls. Pretty non-restricted. Can't kill a land, so that is a thing. But planeswalkers, enchantments, artifacts, of course creatures. So yeah, not bad. It's interesting in some of those like Karn decks. So if Karn's going to be around, Meteor Golem being around makes sense. Anvil Rot Raptor, 4 mana for a 2/1 bird, flying first strike. All right. I mean, if the flyer deck needs that, I don't think I would pay 4 mana for it. But maybe we could get it cheaper. What's up, Bojangles? Nimble Bird Sticker, 2 and 1 red for a 2/3 goblin with reach. I think we've seen this, right? We've seen the bird sticker. The lands are pretty. You guys like the art? Still, I mean, okay, that's an island. I guess those are islands, and they're floating islands, kind of. Maybe, I don't know. This is interesting. This is like a river. This is like not an island. These are definitely swamps. 100% swamps. Mountains, right? Like you can get pictures of mountains and forests, but like, why can't we get pictures of islands? All right, definitely a plains. I'm calling this one a meadow, right? Looks like a secret, like garden there, Aw. All right. Anyway, moving on. Gnarlback Rhino. We talked about this one. This would be pretty sweet with feather, right? Like, are you guys interested in Naya Feather at all? Naya Feather, I mean, I don't know if you want the double green, but it might give you another top end. And if you need some card draw, maybe you want to bring this in against something that would have a bunch of small kill spells or something like that. Moment of Cravings, things like that. This will get around Ritual of Soot and things of that nature. So if you were worried about your opponent playing that sort of thing, maybe this even ends up as a sideboard card. Gnarled Rhino in the Naya Feather deck, if that deck's a thing. I'm sure someone out there will be playing it. Vivian's Crocodile we spoke about in our last video, along with these. We did get... Hold on. Why isn't this all together? Where are the new cards? Here we go. Alright, so we've seen the Thirsting Bloodlord, other vampires you control get +1/+1. Here are the new cards for today. Unholy Indenture. When enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control with a +1/1 counter on it. This is 3 mana, 2 and a black. Soul Salvage, 2 and a black for return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Man, we've seen Dark Remedy. Where are the new cards? Sanctum Skeleton? That one's new. I guess we're just flying through these, okay? Dark Remedy, 1 and a black. Target creature gets +1/+3 until end of turn. Sorcery of the Fang, 1 and 1 black for a 1/3 human wizard. Okay. But it has an ability, 5 and a black. To tap it, and Sorcery of the Fang deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Alright. Late. I mean, just, maybe this is a limited card or something like that. I mean, when you're top decking a land in the late game, you're like, all right, well, take 2. So maybe Maybe even if they go to bounce, something with a late game to fairy, you can use it that way. I'm stretching, really stretching. Whenever you cast a spell with flying, or whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, you can put a +1/+1 counter on Waterkin Shaman, which is a one generic and 1 blue for a 2/1 elemental shaman. I thought this was a flyer. Whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control. Sorry. We've got thanks, Tier 1 Jank. I appreciate that. Sanctum Skeleton, 1 mana. Where are the new cards? We've seen all of these. Sanctum Skeleton's new, but we've seen Waterkin Shaman. We've seen... oh, that's right. We were using the other website that's now going to close down, sadly. We're using the other website. So this website's just now putting these up. So they're going to be mixed together. Alright, sorry. I had some major confusion right there. Alright. Sanitarium Skeleton. Is this a reprint? 1 mana for a 1/2. And you can pay 3 mana to get it back from the graveyard? I mean, it goes back to your hand, right? And I mean, there's reassembling skeleton in the format. I mean, maybe you want both? I don't know. We've got Mine Rot, which is an old staple, right? 2 and a black for target player, discards 2 cards at sorcery speed. Yay! Gravedigger is back in the format. Like, seems like this is like negate, right? Like, this card's always printed. Yeah, that is that's a pretty cool art there. He's like dragging the... It's like he's a zombie dragging a mummy. Alright, cool. 3 and a black for a 2/2 that when it enters the battlefield, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Just one of those cool cards that allow you to play some cards again. So, I mean, he replaces himself if you have a creature in the graveyard. We've also got Gruesome Scourger. 3 and 2 black for a 3/3. And when Gruesome Scourger enters the battlefield, it deals damage to target opponent or planeswalker equal to the number of creatures you control. Now, that's not quite like Gary, but there may be some stuff built around this, or this may be the top end in some type of really go-wide strategy that we might have to watch out for, because if they can land this, there's a good chance they might be able to deal a ton of damage. Also, normally when decks like this, or the Mono Black Devotion deck that I'm referring to, normally when those decks are actually powerful is when you have these huge mid-range versus mid-range board stall games, and I know that you've all been there, where you have these like mirror matches and things like that, and like you're both just playing creatures and neither one of you can swing in, and you're waiting till you finally get that card that gives you the advantage. This could be it. Just somehow casting this, hitting the most of these in a go-wide scenario could just be the win. If Settle the Wreckage ever comes back to being the primary source of removal, which I just doubt it while Teferi's around, this could... If Settle the Wreckage is the primary source of board sweeping, then you just wouldn't want to swing and you would just keep going wide, and this would be a good reason for that. I mean, Gruesome Scourger on my radar. If there can be a deck, this card's abusable. No Gary, but probably good and limited. It just depends. Like, if things line up right and the right deck comes along, this could show up in it. So the card's not beyond playable just because of that enter the battlefield. I mean, you don't even have to go really wide to just have it destroy a planeswalker. If you've got 4 or 5 creatures, it's going to destroy a planeswalker. Feral Abomination, you've got 5 and 1 black for a 5/5 Thrall with Death Touch. Okay. Yeah, I'm not not super excited about it. Fathom Fleet Cutthroat. We got a human pirate here, so pirates are going to continue to be a thing, thankfully. 3 and a black for a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature an opponent controls. It was dealt damage this turn. We've seen this with like Vraska's Finisher. These cards just don't get play. Even though it's a pirate, maybe? No, probably not. No. Epic Cure of Blood. This is one we currently have in Standard. I actually like this card, and if for no other reason, I like it in the Arena Pauper event. So it's going to be really nice that we get to keep it, but it is something to worry about in the Arena Pauper event. This is 5 mana for a 4/4 vampire, and whenever you gain life, each opponent loses life, right? So if I can gain some life, I'll make you lose life. If I can get multiple life gain triggers, I can start making you lose multiple sources of life every turn. Meanwhile, just changing that difference, between your life total and mine. We've got Duress back in the format. Duress was reprinted. This is huge. Was that good enough? Huh? All right. Sorry. All right. So Duress is fairly a big deal. 1 mana to make sure they can't really start their game plan is pretty good. We've seen this mainly as a sideboard card, but just like Negate, it is one of those cards that it can end up in the main board. We see it in a couple of the Grixis lists. I've seen it in a couple of the Esper lists, but not many. So some people do like main board Duress. Duress is a playable card, and the fact that it is still going to be in Standard does mean a lot for the discard decks. It's really hard to have a discard deck or even try to go that route without a 1 mana discard spell. It's also kind of bad that this is in the format, because with this being in the format, a lot of times we won't see a printing of another 1 mana discard spell. Unless those 2 spells just don't overlap at all. Normally, one that would take a creature card, since Duress will not take a creature card. For those of you that don't know what Duress is or haven't read it on the screen yet, 1 black mana, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. The player discards that card. It's just pretty straightforward. Blade Brand. One and a black for instant speed. Target creature gains death touch until end of turn. I would have rather had lifelink. I mean, you also draw a card, so it replaces itself. That's not bad, right? Also, if you do have a creature that is going to be blocked by multiple creatures, giving it death touch will mean that it'll get to finish all of those creatures. That's pretty cool. I just mainly like the fact that Blade Brand replaces itself. That's the big one for me. Cutthroat is a reprint. Yeah, I realized that as I started reading it. I was like, wait a minute, I know this card. What's up, Jack? You're a little bit behind there, Jack. Anyway, we've got Barony Vampire. Barony Vampire, it's a 3 mana 3/2 vamp. Pretty generic. You're not going to play it very much. Tectonic Rift. Okay, 4 mana, destroy land. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. 4 mana land destruction. All right. How many land destruction spells do we have in Standard right now? Somebody in chat know? Anybody in chat know? Shock got reprinted. That's a shock. I'll wait. All right. 1 red for deal 2 damage to any target. Hi, Miss Leslie. We have instant speed. Deals 2 damage. It's right up there with the rest. I mean, these are some cards that, as long as these are in the format, you're going to have to worry about certain things. If red deck stays a relevant deck after rotation, the fact that shock will be around will be no small part of that, I don't think. Being able to turn to shock, then light up the stage is pretty valuable play, so we do need some way for 1 mana to just deal some damage. This is also really good for the Phoenix stacks. things like that. Shock's just huge. Just having a 1 mana, deal 2 damage. This is like Lightning Bolt, only... Ugh. Yes, you're right, Jack. It has almost always been a thing since I've been playing. I remember Shrine of Burning Rage. Like that was when I finally learned to hate red deck. Was Shrine of Burning Rage. Before that, there was some mono red goblins and things like that, but then Shrine of Burning Rage with Koth. Anyway, Scourge Splitter, 1 mana, 1/1, Elemental Lizard. When it attacks, it deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. 1/1 Elemental alert. 1/1 Elemental alert. Alright, so you got to think about this with Thunderkin, right? The Thunderkin, whatever his name is. That's okay. I mean, right? I mean, he's going to come back. No, that's actually not that great. With Thunderkin, he comes back already attacking, right? Like, if he's already attacking, he won't get an attacks trigger. Am I wrong on that? So then this is just like the worst thing to bring back. You just get a 1/1. Right? Doesn't even do the damage. Doesn't even do the extra point of damage. I guess as far as just playing it on like turn 1, swinging with it on turn 2, dealing 2 points of damage on turn 2 doesn't seem bad. So maybe Scourge Splitter's not bad. Just having a 1 mana elemental might be a thing. Right? Kinda? Maybe? I think we're going to have to wait and see just how... Well, we don't have to wait anymore. We have all the cards. What does this deck look like? Does this fit in the elemental deck? Oh my goodness, Thunder can bring back Multani. Multini! You just wanted me to say that. Multani. Does enable Spectacle as well. This is true. Turn 2, just swing with it even if they block. You still enabled Spectacle and you killed, say... Vishnu Pyromancer, maybe? Maybe? Doubt it. Probably not. Or this is the thing left alive after you played your turn 2 and they bounced that with a Teferi. I don't know. I'm stretching again, trying to make this elemental work. I want 1/1 elementals. Ripscale Raptor, 4 and 2 red for a 6/5 with Menace. Dinosaur. That's a weird looking raptor. Like, they went a totally like alien route with their dinosaurs on this one. He does not have itty bitty little front legs. Reduced to ashes. 4 and 1 red, reduced to ashes, deal 5 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. When we talked about this one the other day, I think I said Lava Axe. Somebody pointed out that Lava Axe, Tier 1 Jank pointed out that Lava Axe is to creatures. So maybe you want to run both? I don't know. I won't. We've got a 1 and a red for an enchantment. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and can't block. Maniacal Rage. Is that a reprint? I want to say like something like that before. Keldon Raider, 2 and 2 red. When Keldon Raider enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. That feels like a reprint too. Lava Axe is still to players. Yeah, gotcha. Alright, I probably messed it up again. Not a card that I play a lot of. Although, I have Lava Axed quite a few people. You feel like it's a reprint? Like, Keldon Raiders feels like a reprint, and Maniacal Rage, I don't know if it's a reprint or not, but they feel very reminiscent of other trash cards that we've seen. This may not be trash. Like, this may be an effect that we need. I don't know. I know it's just barely off the vanilla chart. Do I want a human or a warrior? how bad do I want to discard a card? Yeah, so I don't know. Fire Elemental for 3 and double red for a 5/4 Elemental. I'm gonna have to want to really fill that 5-drop slot real hard to play this. Dagger Sail Aeronaut, 3 and a red for a 3/2. As long as it's your turn, it's got flying. You gotta launch it at the beginning of your upkeep, right? You pick up your card and you have to fling it across the room. Aeronaut has flying. It's my turn. Chandra's Outrage deals 4 damage to target creature and 2 damage to that creature's controller for 4 mana. So 6 damage for 4 mana. Not in the past when this card is printed. Sometimes somebody plays it. It's not the worst thing in the world. If you draw this in limited, it's pretty good removal. Like, it's just not standard. It's just normally not a standard card. Active Treason. This is another one of those things that it's cool to have around. It can really turn a fight. If I all of a sudden have something that was stopping me and now it's on my side, then you can go from there. Active Treason, one of those cards. I guess it's just good to know that it's going to stick around. You guys got to know what Active Treason is by now. I'm not going to talk about it. It's right there with Shock and Duress, right? Agonizing Siphon for 4 mana, 3 and a black. You get a sorcery that is Lightning Helix, right? Deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. It's a sorcery speed or black Lightning Helix. All right. Esper with Teferi casted an instant speed anyway. I think that if you're an Esper, though, you would rather just have Othakaya, right? 3 mana for the same effect. Zephyr Charge, 1 and a blue for an enchantment that you can also pay 1 and a blue to give target creature flying until end of turn. I mean, the flying deck's going to be casting creatures that are pretty much flying anyway, so I doubt the flying deck's going to want this. If you've got something that, if you know that you've got that board stall, that ground stall, this breaks ground stalls. I normally see ground stalls in limited more than I do in standard, though, so maybe it's a limited card, but not necessarily standard. Maybe. It does help you get around some things. I guess if you were in green and you just really wanted this effect, you would probably just run Hadana's Climb, right? Siege Scorpion, 1 mana for a 1/1 Scorpion with Death Touch. Hey, it's a green 1/1 with Death Touch. For 1. Doesn't matter that it's a Scorpion. It's going to die anyway. And if you can trade up, yeah. Or you could use something like Rabid Bite, which is 1 mana and a green for sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control, and your little Scorpion will live and kill that thing, and then it'll block, and then kill something else. That feels good, right? Kills Carney T. I mean, you still take 6 to the face, but but yes, it does kill Carney T. Now who's stretching? Plummet. I mean, you might not want to swing with Carney T into a Siege Scorpion, right? For real. Little Scorpion just snap. Plummet, destroy target creature with flying. It's good to have this around, again, along the lines of just, some of our staples, and that's normally what I look for in a good core set anyway, is just give me all of the good staples, just make sure that we just have access to these certain things, and then with the other slots, if you want to give us something cool, then we'll take that too. Warden of Evos Isle. Was there a ring of Evos Isle? Like the blue ring? This sounds familiar. All these cards just sound familiar. 2 and a blue for Bird Wizard Flying. Creature spells with flying you cast cost 1 less to cast. It's a 2/2. Bird Wizards, hey. Sleep Paralysis. Alright. That's horrifying, right? Sleep paralysis. Oh, okay. Anyway, we've got 3 and a blue for an enchantment. When sleep paralysis enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. You can enchant your opponent's creatures. This is like claustrophobia or something of that nature. There's normally one of these around in most formats. So looks like for now, ours is going to cost 4. Netcaster Spider. More reach. It looks like we're getting a lot more reach in the format. Like for the past couple seasons, we've had 3 reach creatures, or maybe more, maybe a few more, but it's like 3 playable ones. Netcaster Spider, 2 and a green for a 2/3 with reach, and when it blocks a creature with flying, it gets +2/+0. This always reminds me of like the now I can't think of it. The Zendikar elves, they destroyed artifacts a lot. Teljaden archers or something like Elvish Archer. Maybe it was just Elvish Archer. Maybe it's just Elvish Archer that I'm thinking of. Anyway, Overcome. All right, so it's not Overrun, but Overcome. This is 5 mana, 3 and double green for a sorcery speed. Creatures you control get +2 and gain trample until end of turn. +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. Overrun's the same converted mana cost, and it gives +3/+3. So I'd rather have that, but what's the reason we couldn't get Overrun? Is it already imprint? Is it already one of those staples? And we normally have Overrun, and it doesn't get a lot of play, so it's not like it's some kind of warping card. Dizden and Petitioners. Dizden and Petitioner. I don't think we've gotten there yet. Sage's Row Dizden. This is 2 and 1 blue for a 2/3, and whenever a blue creature enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. Okay, Vidalcan Wizard. 3 mana for a 2/3 with an effect, a static effect. All right, so you could potentially have a game-winning ceiling on this, right? This card might be pretty good. Metropolis Sprite, 1 and a blue for a 1/2 flyer, Fairy Rogue. You can pay a blue and give it +1/-1 until end of turn, so you're not going to be able to Dragon's Breath this thing. Dinzen? What? Oh, I said Dizden. I don't know. I don't even know how to say that. Denizen. There we go. Denizen. All right, Metropolis Sprite. Again, it's not fire breathing. We're not going all the way up. So you can't just keep pumping blue into this. You'll just kill it. So you're gonna hit for 2. You just basically pay 1 to swap its power and toughness there, which would actually probably be a more powerful effect. However, if you can give the flying on this, like if it's a flying creature and you can give that effect, +1/+1, then you can go up yet even further. If you can give it yet another +1/+1, so each +1/+1 you can give this gives the potential of technically a +2 because it gives it another chance to actually use its ability. That alone could make this worth playing. Right? So, Natural End. 2 and 1 green. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. You gain 3 life. Natural End. Alright. Instant speed. Didn't we have this with flashback on it or some other mechanic on it not too long ago? It was almost the exact same thing. But as long as Naturalize is around, do I want the life gain? Do I want to pay 1 extra life to gain 3 extra mana? Or do I want to pay 1 extra mana to gain 3 extra life? Oh, I would pay 1 life for 3 mana all day. All the way up till 19 life, right? And then just cast everything. Frilled Sea Serpent. Okay, I know this is a reprint. It's got to be a reprint. If this is not a reprint, then whatever. 4 and 2 blue for a 4/6 that you can make unblockable for the low price of 7 mana. I'm not spending 6 mana on this, but if you get this in limited, it's not bad. And the fact that you can make it unblockable, there you go. So I'm not going to say it's a wasted spot, because this is actually pretty decent for limited. Unnatural Appetite. There you go. There you go. That's the card I was thinking of. That card got play in Seth Mansfield's winning deck. I think we were playing that. It had energy on it, wasn't it? Like, Unnatural Appetite was an energy card. Is that what it was? Maybe. I don't remember. But Seth Mansfield played that in his Pro Tour deck. I want to say Jerry Thompson also played it in his that Pro Tour. So the deck got, or the card got some high level play. We may see this. We may see this. Unnatural Appetite got play. We may see Natural Link get some play. Appetite for the Unreal. There you go. There you go. Appetite for the Unreal. Unnatural. There you go. Appetite for the Unnatural. We'll figure these old cards out in a minute, chat. We'll get through this. That's why I need you, chat. That's why I need you. Might of the Masses. 1 mana. Target creature gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control. Alright, so do we have this like go wide scenario forming, or does just the green-white tokens deck just adopt all of these cards, or most of the good ones, and say, oh, game on, baby? That deck's been floating around in the tier 2, tier 1.5 bracket for a little while now, and it might end up with the parts it needs to really be able to hose somebody. Fortress Crab for 3 and a blue will get you a 1/6 crab. Yeah, baby, sign me up. Mammoth Spider, 4 and a green will get you a 3/5 with reach. It's actually pretty decent and limited, so another one of those cards that you just kind of want to have. Fortress Crab maybe in some type of... No, never mind. Howling Giant, 5 and double green for a 5/5 with reach. Man, all these reach creatures. It's a giant druid. I thought druids are supposed to like take care of the forest, man. He's clearly like destroying that tree, or maybe he's using it to gingerly step over it, right? He doesn't want to break it and destroy it. Never mind. Moving on. When Howling Giant enters the battlefield, create 2 2/2 green wolf creature tokens. So this is 7 mana. I get that. But you're getting 9 power spread across multiple bodies. It's also an enter the battlefield trigger. And that's very, very important for me, because I'm looking for some things that I can just cheaply bring back to the battlefield, even if I don't get to keep them around on the battlefield or something like that. I'm always wanting that deck. So this one's definitely on my radar. It has an enter the battlefield trigger, so even if they can remove it, there's something left over. I'm left with these 2 wolves that can buy me a lot of time. The fact that this has reach is really good. One of the reasons I am kind of getting excited about this card, because I hadn't seen it before, was the last time that we had a good Sultai Reanimator deck was when we had Ishkana in the format. Now, Ishkana is a lot better than this card. All right, Ishkana was castable. 7 mana is really hard to cast, but the fact that it has reach, can stop a flyer. It is a 5/5. It can fight back against those flyers. It can block a lot of things on the ground, and gives you 2 other 2/2 wolves. That's pretty good. They're not 3 spiders, and it doesn't have that game-winning effect that Ishkana had. But just because this is around, that kind of makes me a little excited. So I probably got a little too excited over this common, but whatever. We get Greenwood Sentinel, 1 and a green for a 2/2 with vigilance. Elf Scout. If you need an elf, 2 mana, 2/2 elf bears. There you go. Healer of the Glade, 1 mana for a 1/2, enters the battlefield, gain 3 life. It's an elemental that they had to give 2 power or 2 toughness to, right? So it means I can't bring it back every turn, because the Thunder can only bring back 1/1s. Where are my 1/1s? Alright, we've also got Boreal Elemental, which is 4 and a blue for an elemental flying. Spells your opponent cost that casts Let me restart. Spells your opponent casts that target Boreal Elemental costs 2 more to cast. Nothing else. That's it. You want me to pay 5 mana for a 3/4 flyer that's just hard to get rid of? Alright, maybe I'll bite. Limited? I'll probably bite. Standard? No. Bone to Ash, another reprint. Counter target spell, you draw a card. So counters cards brings itself, like replaces it, not brings itself back, but replaces itself. Not bad for 4 mana. I would prefer to have a card that said exile target spell. We need that. We need that. Blue needs a way to guarantee itself. Like, if they're going to bring in a card to hose blue that says cannot be countered, then blue needs a way to specifically say no. No, I'm not trying to counter it. I want to exile that spell. Right now, the best we got is like Narset's Revival, where we can just like bounce it. So, we've got Gift of Paradise, another Gift of Paradise. This is now a staple. This is now part of Magic, guys. Get ready for it. There'll just about always be a 3 mana enchantment that does this, probably. I mean, before we had Horizons, New Horizons, and Gift of Paradise. So they just reprinted Gift of Paradise again. I guess it's just negate at this point, right? Feral Invocation, 2 and a green for flash, enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Okay. It's a flash enchantment. I like that. We get Centaur Corsair. Is that right? Corsair? 2 in a Corsair of Crufix. Corsair? Okay. Yeah. 2 in a green for a 3/3. So 3 mana 3/3 vanilla, right? Befuddle. I like this card. 2 and a 1, target creature gets -4/-0 until end of turn. Draw a card. So 2 and 1 blue, instant speed, just stop a little damage, draw a card. Anticipate, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You can put one of them into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Another little staple. Like we normally have something around like this, 2 mana draw spell that's instant speed. This one lets you kind of dig through the deck a little bit to find an answer. It's not bad. It's no ponder, but it gets the job done and cease play in decks from time to time. Air Elemental. This is like printing 400. 3 and 2 blue for a 4/4 flyer. This is really good and limited. Like, yeah. Brightwood Tracker, 3 and a green for a 2/4, and it has the ability. And this is an Elf Scout. Has the ability, you can pay 5 and a green, tap it, and look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can reveal a creature card from among them, put it in your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order or in a random order. That's a really good late game mana sink. This will really be good in limited for sure when you're just wanting to find some way to use your mana to get more cards so that you can do more things. This would actually probably be pretty good. Yoked Ox. Hey, that's a new art. That's cool. 1 mana for a 0/4 Ox. Yeah, 1 mana wall. That's not a defender, if that matters. Steadfast Sentry. 0 Steadfast Sentry, 2 and a white. Like, where are these numbers coming from, right? Dyslexia. It's crazy. Human Soldier. 3. It's a 3 mana 3/2 that has vigilance, and when it dies, you put a counter on something. Yes, it's a 3 mana 3/2. When it dies, it has a die trigger. Man, you've been unusually late for these few recent streams. You're good there, Madness. That's why we have multiple moderators, so nobody's forced to come to stream. Thanks for coming. But yeah, you're good. Soulmender, 1 and 1 mana for a 1/1 that gains some life. Not an elemental, so yeah. Now Soulmender's alright. Just tap at the end turn, gain some life. Human Cleric. Moorland Inquisitor feels reminiscent of something. Moorland Haunt, something like that. It's a 2 mana 2/2 that you can pay 2 and a white to give it first strike. Not bad. Moment of Heroism, 1 and 1 white for target creature gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink until end of turn instant speed. There it is, Famished Paladin. There it is. There it is. We were looking for it. It's going to be in white. Famished Paladin's in white. That's great. Moment of Heroism, everybody. There we go. If you want to play your Famished Paladin combo for the next 3 months before it rotates, there you go. Master Splicer. Oh, I love splicers because I actually like golems. This is the reason I was talking about golems earlier. This is a 3 and a white for a 1/1 human artificer. Wait, hold on. This is how splicers work, right? They got protection. They can be a 1/1. Master Splicer enters battlefield. Create a 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature token. That's pretty common amongst splicers because splicers have their golems. Golems you control get +1/+1. That's pretty good. This is no Blade Splicer by any means, but giving golems an anthem is not bad. It's 4 mana, creates what is this, 5 power? 5 power for 4 mana across 2 different cards. It's not horrible. Normally, you can use the Splicer to draw a kill spell, and then you still have your bigger body left behind. So just because the Splicer is a 1/1, that's not always a horrible thing. So. Inspiring Captain here, 3 and a white for a 3/3, and when it enters the battlefield, creatures you control get a little anthem for the end of turn of +1/+1. So human knight, maybe it's relevant that it's a knight. Four mana spells in a knight's deck. I don't know. I don't know about that. Inspired Charge, 2 and 2 white for instant speed. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. Could be a 1-up, right, in some type of deck, but I think I like Heroic Reinforcements, but this is instant speed, so maybe. Griffin Sentinel, 2 and a white for a 1/3 flying vigilance. We've seen it before. They didn't even really... This is not even new art, is it? No. Griffin Protector, 3 and a white. 3 and a white for a 2/3 flying. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Griffin Protector gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Okay. Glaring Aegis, 1 mana enchantment. And when it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. Enchanted creature gets +1/+3. Now, it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. It doesn't necessarily mean the creature that you've enchanted. So, enchant your creature, tap their creature, get in there, or... Like, man, if this had flash, especially, like, I love flash enchantments with the big butt. So yeah, yeah. If this was Rudy's channel, it'd be a giggity right there, right? So many reprints, man. What's up, Rush? How you doing, dude? Gauntlets of Light. So 2 and 1 white for another aura. Enchanted creature gets +0/+2, and it assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Enchanted creature has pay 3 mana, 2 and a white to untap this creature. Whoa. Whoa. So you could have a big-bodied creature. Was yet another Theros reprint? It's just getting ready for Theros to be back, right? Oh, the Scorpion? Oh, alright. Okay. So the very last card spoiled was a Theros reprint? Okay. Let's go to Theros. Gauntlets of Light, we talked about that. Fencing Ace, what? 1 and a white for a 1/1 double strike. Human Soldier. Right now we've got that little Boros, like, Swiftblade Vindicator, but Fencing Ace, he's been around, right? There's people have put some enchantments on some Fencing Ace and smacked some people with it. Daybreak Chaplain, it's a 2 mana 1/3 with lifelink. It's made play before. It's a human cleric. maybe again, I don't know. Dawning Angel, 4 and a white for a 3/2 flyer that when it enters the battlefield you gain 4 life. 3/2 flyers are not horrible, limited maybe. Angelic Gift, 1 and a white. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card, enchanted creature has flying. Whoa, 2 mana enters. I like drawing cards. Mainly because I like playing spells that replace themselves because I like to keep a grip so I have more options. Yeah, Angelic Gift does look pretty good, Tier 1 jank. The card's not bad. Like, you can make any card better by adding draw a card. So when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. Enchanted creature has flying. So if they kill the creature you're trying to enchant, you don't draw a card. Alright, cool. Celestial Messenger, 2 and double blue for a 3/2 flash flyer that gets +1/+1 as long as you... Oh man, this is the Yangling Harbingers. What did I miss? There was some rares, because I did not talk about the hate card that got printed. I guess... Alright, so this is where we were like flipping through. They just not have the most recent spoilers? Like, what is going on? Did I miss some from yesterday? Or do they just... Grafdigger's Cage got printed, basically. I guess I just keep going down, right? Twin Blade Paladin. I don't remember Twin Blade Paladin. Yeah, I do. Whenever you gain life, you put a 1/1 counter on it. If you have 25 or more life, you get have a double strike. That's pretty good. 4 mana for a 3/3, but when you regain life, you put a +1/1 counter on the double striker. Yeah. You have 3 decks in mind. 1 for sure. 2 that are 65 or 75% through. Nice. Nice. Savannah Sage, 2 mana, 2/2, enters the battlefield, gain 2 life. Goldmane Griffin, I'll go search up your Johnny. Pack Mastiff, nah, we talked about Pack Mastiff yesterday. Here they are. Alright, here we go. Undead Servant, enters the battlefield, create a... Nope, talked about that one yesterday. The first one does nothing. The second one starts creating more zombies. The third one, even more zombies. You don't really get value on that card until you get the second copy of it. So you need to get one in the graveyard before the Undead Servant's worth anything. Fairy Miscreant, we talked about that yesterday as well. Probably we'll see play in the Flyers deck. Let's just jump right here, right? Grafdigger's Cage. 1 mana, artifact, creature cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. Period. Right? Grafdigger's Cage. This will put an end to that crap. Glinthorn Buccaneer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 1 and double red. 2 1 and double red for a 2/4 Minotaur pirate. Oh my god, chat. For a 2/4 Minotaur pirate haste. Whenever you discard a card, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. It has the ability that if you're attacking, you can pay 1 and a red to discard a card, draw a card. Okay. Right? Like it just comes in and ruins all your plans, but it also makes sure that that deck can never become dominant. The problem is graveyard mechanics are normally really powerful, and you need cards like Grafdigger's Cage to keep them in check. Yes, we've got Leyline of the Void, and we're going to have Grafdigger's Cage, but these are also some of the same cards. Like Grafdigger's Cage was printed in Innistrad, right? Like in that play period. So I'm pretty sure it was Innistrad. I could be wrong, but Grafdigger's Cage was around in that time back when we were playing in Innistrad, and that ended up becoming the backbone to a lot of modern. So if we are coming into this new format, this new like standard plus format for Arena, then you know, having cards like Leyline, all the Leylines, and cards like Grafdigger's Cage, and having the proper hate cards, even if they only last for a year, shows that Wizards is having some forethought for the future of this format. So they're not just saying, yeah, sure, we'll do this format because people don't want to lose their cards. Yeah, no, Wizards has been doing rotating sets for a long time. They know people don't want to lose their cards. They knew a long time ago that people didn't want to lose their cards, and that the fact that we're seeing all of these in the core set shows that Wizard did give some forethought. So that's reassuring. That's really reassuring for Magic the Gathering as a card game, as a competitive card game. Like, yeah. The Glenhorn Buccaneer, it has haste. That's pretty sweet. So it can swing in and you know, deal 2 damage the turn that it comes in on turn 3. It's probably better as like a 5-drop though, so you can play it. But you're gonna need 3 mana on 5 to be able to do that. Like to be able to discard a card, then draw a card, because you can only activate it when it's attacking. I mean, you could activate it on turn 4. You could activate it twice on turn 4 actually. So you know, that. Do we want to discard cards that bad? At least this card lets us draw those cards back, so we can get rid of some bad cards or something like that. I actually think this card's pretty decent and might actually get a little bit of play. Scampering Scourger, it's a 3 and 1 red for a 1/1. Oh, elemental. When the Scourger enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens. Elementals you control gain haste until end of turn. I'm in. I am in. The problem with this being like just so good with the Thunderkin is I'm already attacking. This will already be attacking. It doesn't matter that the others have haste. I've already declared attackers. So they're just going to sit there. But when I sack this at end of turn, I do get to keep 2 elemental creature tokens laying around, which is pretty good, right? Bag of Holding. Hey, cool. There's no prepared like over prepared. I like that. 1 mana artifacts. Whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard. Okay. You can pay 2 and tap Bag of Holding, draw a card, then discard a card. Okay. All right, I'm in so far. I mean, I can turn 1 play this, turn 2 like try to hit my 3rd land drop, like draw a card, discard a card, or I can start filtering lands on turn 2. Okay, or on turn 3 play this and immediately start filtering. Okay, I'm game. It's got another ability though that's probably going to be broken. We can pay 4 and tap this, sacrifice Bag of Holding, return all cards exiled with Bag of Holding to their owner's hand. Ooh. Gears turning. And this whenever you like, so you turn 1, protect yourself from Thought Erasure, and start making sure you're hitting your land drops. I'm actually in on Bag of Holding, guys. I mean, when Treasure Map and things like that rotate, yeah, you're gonna want this. You'll pay 2 mana to draw a card, then discard a card, and then later you're going to be out of cards. Eric made a reading punt. Oh, probably a million. Did I say Scorcher? Oh, Scorcher. What did I say? Yeah. That's my accent, dude. There's going to be a T in there. Whatever. It's enter the battlefield. No, I'm talking about the Thunderkin, right? Thunderkin can bring this back because it's a 1/1. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. I get that this is an enter the battlefield trigger, not on attack. Thunderkin is on attack. So I have to swing with Thunderkin. I get to bring this back, right? And because I'm bringing this back from the graveyard, this will not work so well with Thunderkin. I think you misheard me. This is not a punt, and I'm going to defend myself on this one, right? So somebody's rewinding right now to see if I actually said this. But what I was talking about was with Thunderkin, which is Oh, tell me it. Here it is, right here. Thunderkin, Awakener, right? So we get 1 and 1 red for a 1/2 that has haste, and whenever it attacks, choose target elemental creature card in your graveyard with toughness less than Thunderkin Awakener's toughness. So it has to be a 1/1, right? Return that card to the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step, and then this. See, because it's tapped and attacking, you won't be able to attack with the 2 1/1s that are created from the enter the battlefield trigger of the Scorcher. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. So it doesn't matter that your elementals have haste because you've already declared attacks by the time the elementals are created. So, right? But this still is one of the better ones that we want to be bringing back. Or you could pump the Thunderkin and get back bigger elementals. Or I could get back the Reef Elemental, right? Which one was that? I'm not going to go looking for it, but I could get back the Reef Elemental. Swing for a surprise huge Multini! Yeah, I like that too. I actually do like that idea. Boo. 2 mana Multini. Yeah! Multani, I get it. I get it. Look, if you guys are going to spend your time watching and correcting my English, well, just hope you got your typewriter fingers ready. Or in the modern, you bring back Skelemental. Yes, see, that's what I was thinking about. You bring back the Skelemental 6/1. So turn 2, like turn 1 Faithless Looting, turn 2 this swing 7. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. So you sacrifice it, it goes to the graveyard, you do it again next time, right? Man, this is like, oh, I got them ready. I keep them ready. This is why I'm who I am. Dracuseth, like we talked about Dracuseth yesterday. Dracuseth's pretty good. Like I've been trying to think of ways to cheat the dragon into the battlefield. Of like, what are some other broken things we can do with that dragon? Like that's going to be a lot of fun. So what do you guys think? Like, I'm going to go find this other elemental. I'm going to give a little bit of time here for chat to say what they think about the set overall. And if you're watching in the replay, please let me know. You know, like in the comments, like what do you think about this set? Is this set as good as everyone else thinks it is? I mean, they just packed it full of power. Still, Overseer. We've got. Sure, I'll find some other broken reprint here in a minute. The new Omnath right here. Omnath of the Locus of the Royal enters the battlefield. It deals damage equal to the number of elementals you control. So like turn 2, bringing back some dudes will be pretty cool. You gotta somehow turn 1 get them in the graveyard though. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on an elemental you control. This is a good way. Like Omnath himself is a really good way to actually to make that Thunderkin bigger. So Thunderkin can do a little bit of work, and then all of a sudden you start getting lands. Yeah. Where's the elemental I want to bring in? I want the blue-green one. Like, it's the main reason I want to be in Teamer is because I want a bannable card. I want a card that might get banned. Well, I mean, Rogue Refiner got banned. Here it is, Risen Reef. It's an elemental. It's a 1/1. Seems like Pooch Sunday, to be honest. What? You don't like it? I don't know what Pooch Sunday is, so is it a good thing? Bad thing? You winked. Whenever Risen Reef or another elemental enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may just put it on the battlefield. If it's not a land, put it in your hand. It doesn't say draw a card. Forget you, Narset. I'm just putting it in my hand. I didn't draw it. I'm just putting it in my hand. You was trying to confuse me? It's not hard to do, man. It's not hard to do. They put like these characters and apparently they're written in English, but I don't speak that language, so seems pretty busted, right? All right, so we bring that back. Then we start bringing back the elemental that makes 2 elementals. So we'll get to draw 3 cards off of that. Come on, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. Like, I want to be playing this deck. I want to be playing the Elementals deck. So this is the deck that I'm working on. If you guys have some versions of it or anything like that, or you start brewing up, don't forget to post those over on the Sideboard MTG subreddit. For those of you watching, please go build your decks. Build the decks for the streamer event. Post those decks on the Sideboard MTG subreddit. We have the streamer event coming up this July 1st. Probably not going to be playing on July 2nd because we'll lose it at like 6 a.m. But I might play late that night, you know. But we've got the streamer event coming up. You will be able to watch it live here on YouTube Gaming. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We have access to all the cards, Wizard sponsored, so it's gonna be great. I'm planning on having a lot of fun with it. If you guys do post your decks though over on the Sideboard MTG subreddit, there's like a really great chance those decks will get played on the streamer event. So like you'll get a chance to see if the deck's good, bad, or indifferent, and we'll probably play around with the idea of the deck anyway, whether we continue to play with your 75 or even 60. No, it has to be 60. There's no best of 3. So build your main board how you would want it. We'll be doing a bunch of best of 1. So you've been brewing like crazy. Let me get rid of that. I'm sure you guys can see it. You've been brewing like crazy, and you will try to submit as many as you can. Well, then don't be disappointed when we don't play all of them. But I am definitely looking for as many ideas as I can get. We'll have some spicy brews for me. All right, sweet, thanks. Sir Eccles has been thinking of that. What's Sir Eccles? Try Telenology Summoners in the Elementals deck. Ooh, that's right. Telenology Summoner does create Elementals. Ooh. Might be a decent one up. Maybe even higher than that. Like, maybe. I really just want to, like, make sure that I can keep casting. But if I'm just drawing more Risen Reefs or more 1/1s and making 1/1s, like, how good is that? Until all of a sudden I play an Omnath. I mean, so you just do this, make as many as you can, keep drawing cards, play Omnath, play another Omnath, your opponent's burn out. Just make X Elementals every turn. Right? Well, Risen Reef says whenever an elemental enters the battlefield, put a card either on the library or on the battlefield or in your hand. If it's a land, it goes to the battlefield. If it's like that's a good Explorer right there. Like if you think Explorer is good, this will either put the land straight to the battlefield, not in your hand, or it'll put a non-land into your hand. If Explorer was even remotely good for giving you the land to your hand, this is freaking broken, okay? Broken. Risen Reef. Omnom curve. Omnom on curve is Lightning Strike on a 3/3. Okay, so that's only if you just like played a 2-drop or a 2-drop, a 3-drop, a 4-drop. But what if you turn 1 discarded something and then your 2-drop made some stuff? Right? I expect Omnom to be a 4-mana finisher in that deck, actually, though, and may not even cast it on curve. But if I do cast it on curve, I still get Lightning Strike, right? Still, I'm still game. Like, I'm still game to play that. Enters the battlefield, Lightning Strike something, and whenever I landfall, put a +1/+1 counter on something. Oh yeah, the whole thing, Skylar, the whole thing, which was Omnom. Yes, nom 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 nom. Om nom nom nom. That's Omnath, man. Omnath. I know, but you know, where's Omnath? He's way up here, isn't he? Omnath. Omnom. Omnom nom. There's probably an Omnom That's actually a card, right? Anyway, Omnath, Locust of the Royal. He's gonna be pretty good. Eric's just making noises now. That's right. That's right. We're done, guys. We are done. I hope you all show up tomorrow. We've actually going to play some Magic tomorrow. How about that? Spoiler season is over. The spoilers are out. We're done. Yay! We get to go back to playing Magic. So tomorrow we'll be actually playing some Magic. There's a Grixis deck I want to play around with, and we'll play with that a little bit on stream. And for the extra stream tomorrow, will just be some Arena. So we'll toy around with Arena. I think I'm going to play with the new. I haven't played the new Gideon event, and I'll probably just get on and like try to grind out my games on stream. So, what do I think of Elvish Reclaimer? Card's pretty decent, right? Like, I don't think it's going to be hard at all to get this online. You can just play the. It's going to be really, really easy to get online, right? Because you play this on turn 1, turn 2, you can sacrifice land, search your library for land, put it on the battlefield. All right, so we fixed our mana, right? So turn 1 we played this, turn 2 we fixed it. Like this card will allow you to do some like real broken stuff, like play an almost mono green deck that has like one forest or one swamp, one mountain or something like that, and you can like play green and then use your reclaimers to go pull certain cards, like if you need them to use an ability of a creature. I don't know if we'll be actually trying to build decks like that, but it makes those possible. As of right now, though, you can like just play this on turn 1, on turn 2, activate the ability, and then on turn 3, actually play Lotus Field, and then just sack 2 lands, and at that point, like bam, you've got a 3/4. It's probably worth it. It's probably worth it. I think it gets play. Like, if nothing else, I think it gets play. Monogreen Omnath is Om Yum Yum Nath. Gruul Omnath is Om Nom Nom Nath. Teamer is Om Gulp Nath. Alright. Okay. Alright, that's how we'll do it. He's still Om Nom Nom Nom. Be sure to check that out, Jank. What? Oh, check out your 5-0 ranked arena. Oh, nice. Nice, Jank. I'll check that out here in a little bit. Other than that, though, it's been a great spoiler season. Let me know in the comments, for sure, like if there's any deck like deck plans, like you wanna put something together, or even if you guys have some ideas to build around. I'm definitely looking. I'm looking for some inspiration. So if you guys want to feed me some inspiration for the streamer event, that would be awesome. Plus, you'll be able to look at the deck and go, hey, yeah, I helped him with this. It's pretty cool. So thank all of you for everything that you've done, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some Gideon Sacrifice on Arena, and we've got Grixis. It depends on how well the Gideon Sacrifice event goes, and we may have to play that again because I want to finish it. But after that, we'll play some Arena on MTGO, or so we'll play Arena on MTGO. That'll work. Live streaming so hard. After that, we'll play some Grixis at some point, as long as we finish the Gideon Sacrifice event. All right, guys. That's all I've got. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun. We'll see you next time here on Sideboard MTG. Oh, yeah. Like, subscribe. All right.